Where did he live?
They live in Tyler, Texas. It's ready.
Well, I can remember when each one came along, and I can't remember exactly what happened, because when Naomi started to school, Dad said, she'll have to ride behind you on the horse. He didn't want her walking up that hill and going to school. But what happens when Jesse came along? We all walked. And then when Ralph came along, there we were all walking. Yes. Right.
You remember that, huh?
I can remember that without any trouble. And there's one thing that I can't understand really, how in the world that I got left behind one afternoon after school with Buford Briggs, and he had a hammer in his hand, and he said, I'm going to kill you. Well, I started walking out towards my horse to get on the horse and go home. I wasn't going to pay any attention to it, you know, but he came right behind me. And when we got over pretty close to where the horse was, he had the hammer up like this, and he was headed right straight for me. Well, I didn't try to hit him like that. I just downed my head and hit him right in his chest with my head. And it knocked him down, and he lost the hammer.
Oh.
And I reached over and got him by the head, and there, his head was right over a stump. And I hammered his head right into that stump till I felt like he was out, so I could go get on the horse. And I went home.
Poor Buford.
I don't know whether Ralph ever had any dealings with him or not, but that was, he was already out of school probably by that time.
That probably took care of it.
What year were you born?
Huh?
What year were you born?
What year was I born?
Mm-hmm.
I was born 4/20, 14.
14.
14.
And then Naomi, you were 4.
When TW and I were riding old Joe
Yes.
to school, I remember one morning we had to get up. It was still dark, and we had to. And it was kind of misty rain, and I know that I got my dress and dressed, and so we got on Joe and took off to school. And when I got there, several kids were already there, and the teacher was there, and she called me over and said, Naomi, did you know you have your dress on the wrong side out? So I had to go change my dress after I got to school.
Aren't you glad she told you that?
Yeah, that would be a style today.
That's true.
Well, I don't remember anything that I remember.
That's true. Well, that's all right. We want to hear
Well,
what
you
you
don't
remember.
remember very much
I
about
really
that
don't
place.
remember much about TW
No, you don't.
or Naomi
Mm-hmm.
or Jesse a little bit and Ralph a little bit more, but he was a boy and he was always gone, you know, so.
He was always telling about wearing Jesse's dress when his mother was doing the washing. You know, he loves,
Washing my coveralls.
he loves to tell that
That's all
story.
I,
Oh, really?
I
Tell
just
us,
had one suit.
tell,
When mother always did, I had to wear an Naomi's or Jesse's dress while mine was being washed. And that's the truth. And talking about the horse on Joe, I was on that horse when mother was washing, and I don't know why I was on it or what I was doing, but I know we came up pretty close to the house, and he started acting up around the fire and the wash pot, and they thought I was fixing to get thrown in a tub of hot water.
Oh, my word.
But I held on to the saddle horn, and
That's good.
they controlled the horse. Everything went all right.
Well, I had a sad experience with old Joe too. I fell off of him and broke my arm.
I remember that.
Goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was in Hazard.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Naomi and me had gone over there and we're on our way home. And we had borrowed the neighbor's saddle. And we stopped on the way back and let them have their saddle back. Well, somebody had just clipped his mane that morning. And we had to go across this fence that had been let down, you know, and so I went on ahead and she was coming across it. And he started to cross it was a little branch that didn't have any water in it, but it was a little low place there. And he started to cross it, and when he did, instead of stepping across it, he jumped, and I fell off
Oh,
and broke my arm.
Did they have a doctor, was there a doctor anywhere around? Did you
No,
have
we
your
had
Dad
to
dad?
go to town in the car, and we had to wait
Oh.
for him to get home, and then we had to get in the car, and we went to the neighbor's house, and they borrowed the neighbor's car, and we started, and we had a flat. It was about dark when we got to the doctor's office, and my arm was swelling so bad they
Get her to a
couldn't set
doctor.
it pretty good. He just wrapped it up and let us go. And when I went back to get that tape off, he started pulling that tape off, and I started screaming, and he bribed me with a nickel, you know, if I wouldn't scream. And he gave me that nickel, and he started pulling that tape. I started screaming.
Nickel didn't work.
It didn't work.
did you,
But I had, it had decayed in here, and we had to, you know, clean that specially. And then I couldn't bend it. I couldn't straighten it out good. And we had to work with that, do therapy on
She's
it.
lucky to be able to use it.
Yeah.
And I can
Really?
use it. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
not straight, but I can use it, so I'm thankful for that.
yeah.
and how old were you when that happened?
I was about
About five.
4 or 5.
4.
Yeah, I probably was 4 because I hadn't
Yeah.
started school
Yeah.
yet.
So you
And-
really got gangrene in there, or like really?
Well,
got
no, it
pretty
was
bad?
just decayed.
No.
It just
That-
smelly, you know.
It broke where that bone separated a little bit, and her arm kind of hangs
So my
out.
arm has a double elbow instead of a single point on it. Normal arm's supposed to.
Huh. That's something.
Ralph, did you ever try to rope a cow on Joe?
I don't remember if I did.
Well, I don't think you could. One morning, we were going to school, and he started just jumping it around the yard, raising it up, and all stuff. And just as we went under, or got to the railroad track, we were going under the bridge, the old bridge. And I got off, got the overall, and I reached over and got a club about this long. And I got on the horse then, and I said, go. As soon as he started, we got up close to the railroad track, he started to raise, you know, and I come down like that on him, right on that knob between his ears. He went down to his knees, And we got on that horse and rode him to school.
I think Daddy used brute force to you.
But nobody, I don't think, ever roped a calf or a yearling off of him after that.
He was strictly a saddle pony.
Oh, yeah.
Not a workhorse.
He was one that would run the fastest. You know, we'd all, every time we had they'd get together, you know, for a race, but Joe would come out ahead.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I just think your parents are, that many times y'all ought to think back and just thank them because of where you came from, where you started. You know, and to think that your mom and dad cared enough that they saw that you were going to be educated,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Oh,
Because Ralph said he has wore some things to school that was just, you know, unbelievable for a kid to wear. You know.
Trying to get it so I could go to school.
Mhm.
The last thing, you know, he said, when we were out of work, he said, if you'll come home from Brownwood, you know, and work with us this summer, you'll have enough money to, I'll give you enough money so you can go to school without having to work. Well, about half of the summer came, and we saw we couldn't do it. So I went to Tyler that year. That was the year I was 37. It's the year I went to Tyler. I did get a job there when I worked
Tyler?
at the city.
Tyler, is that what you said?
Yeah, Tyler.
And all of y'all are highly intelligent.
Oh,
So that's what is so neat for a family, for all of you to be, you know, I just think that's wonderful.
Go ahead.
You don't have to
When
ask
Ralph was
permission,
in
Naomi.
about, this is second or third grade, he, you know, had work that he had to do at school and writing. Well, and teacher was very strict about wanting you to put your name on your paper. And I don't know, school had been just going on maybe a month, 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And the teacher wrote Mother a note and said, will you tell me how Ralph spells his name? She said, I get papers with R-A-F, R-A-P-H, R-A-L-P-H. And Mother just laughed. She saw the teacher, you know, in person and responded to her for that note. And she said, well, he spelled his name R-A-L-P-H. And said, don't you let him get by with putting that R-E-P-H on.
He was learning shorthand early.
my name was really Andrew.
Oh.
oh.
But my first 2 years in school, Naomi and Jesse was sixth grade, I guess, or 4th grade, 3rd, 5th, something like that. But we walked to school. My first 2 years, I walked to school. And it was across several pastures, and we had the Sulphur Creek crossed on a foot log that was about 20 foot long, 12 inches wide, carrying the book satchels and the lunch pail. And when it come a rain, it'd wash out. And they had to put that board back across the creek so we could walk to school. And one time, it came a heavy rain during the day, and that creek got up. It got out of bank, and it flooded. And I don't know, Bill might remember this, but me and her and Jesse, we decided it'd be better for us not to try to go home and go home with some kids that didn't have to cross the creek. The rainwater. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and we walked, I don't know, 2 or 3 miles with them, and we heard a horse coming loping down the road behind us, and it was Dad.
He's looking for y'all.
He had come to school and crossed that creek on the horse. He could wade across it, and he came down there to meet us to get us across the creek. When we didn't show up, he come after us, and we had to walk all the way back to the creek and all the way.
Lesson number 1 about the creek that rises.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
I said that was your first lesson about when the creek rises.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't go the other way. Wait on Dad.
The big thing of the week was getting to go to town on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And so this was one of the Saturdays that we went to town. And Dad would hitch up the horses to the wagon. And we would go to Lampasas, about 6 or 8 miles away, to go to town. And I think we would have a quarter to spend. And that was hard to spend that quarter and get, you know, everything you needed. I mean, you'd had to make choices because you couldn't get everything you needed. Well, I don't know if it was just and I by ourselves. Mother and Dad weren't bad about letting us get off by ourselves. But anyway, Norma Lou was along with us, and we'd stop, you know, and look at things and look in the store, even grocery stores. We'd walk around there, look at all the pretty fruits, you know, and oh, it just smelled so good. And we'd look at our quarters, you know, and we'd look at an apple was 5 cents. Oh my goodness, and that meant you couldn't buy but 4 other things. Well, we'd walk on out of the grocery store, you know, and keep going around. They had a 5 and 10 cent store. And before we got to that store, the 5 and 10 cent store, we had to pass another little fruit stand place. And Jay and I were cutting up and playing, you know, going down there. We got in the store and Ludie wasn't with us. And we just nearly bombed out. And so we went outside and started looking for her, and she had stopped off at this fruit stand because there was a man sitting on a stool out by the side of the door peeling an apple. And she was standing in front of him with a hand on each leg and watching him peel that apple. Oh, we would get her to, you know, and get out of there. And he said, no, just leave her alone. I'm peeling this for her.
Oh, my.
And he peeled the apple and gave it to her.
Oh, did y'all get a bite?
Oh, scared us to death.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, my.
And another big treat for the Saturday when we went home, Dad would always drive around to the barbecue place.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they gave you barbecue with gravy in a tin can. And he'd buy a
Syrup bucket.
warm, well, maybe it was a syrup bucket, but he'd get a warm loaf of bread, and that would be our supper when we got home. We couldn't touch it till we got home. And oh my goodness, that stuff smells so good.
I bet.
We really looked forward to our Saturday night.
Yeah. When we was living at the first place where I was born, there out of Kempner a little piece, Dad came in from Lampasas and took a bale of cotton into the gym, and came in, got back, it was still daylight, over in the evening sometime. You didn't go 8 miles in the wagon and unload a bale of cotton and get back, but you went early when the stars were still shining. And I had an old straw hat I'd had for 2 or 3 years, and one side of the brim was about half out and over the crown, and all. He got when he got off the way and he came in, he grabbed that straw hat and reached in his pocket and got a match and struck it and set my hat on fire. And I began to holler, and I didn't know what in the world was going on. And when he got through, he got in the wagon and he had me a brand new hat.
Oh, my word. Oh, that'll make you cry. A new hat was unheard of.
And I had went to the gym with him on a bale of cotton, and we had to get up, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning, because if you didn't get there early,
Oh, yeah.
someone else got there early,
in line.
you know, and you had to wait in line. And they didn't gin cotton very fast back then. You'd wait sometime 4 or 5 hours. But we'd get up real early so we could be first, second, or third in line, something like that. And I remember laying back in that cotton looking up in the stars. And I was telling him, what's that star? What's that one? He'd tell me about these, the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, and all these stars. and all. And before he get through talking, I'd be asleep. He'd wake me up when he got to the gym.
You didn't ask for that much.
We had a barn, and it wasn't sealed inside, you know, just one board standing straight up made the wall, and about knee high, it had a 2x4 nailed all around the wall, you know, just right for you to get up on top of that and walk all the way around the barn on that board, you know, and you could hold on to the next board like that. And that was a good pastime for us. Well, I was walking around the barn and I, you know, facing the wall and holding on, and it put me real close to these 2x4s that stood straight up. And I came across one, and it had a red wasp nest on it, about like that. And I hit that thing with my stomach. I didn't even know it was there, just drug across it. And those wasps hit me, and I'm telling you now, I had 4 to sting me on my stomach, 3 in the top of my head. And when I left yelling out of that barn, there's 2 or 3 still after me. And that, you talk about hurt, and that really hurt.
And nothing to put on them.
We always check the boards after that to be sure there wasn't any wasp nest.
Oh, my goodness.
Wonder how it made me really sick.
Yeah.
Mother put, she put soda and water
Soda and
mixed
water
and make a
and
paste.
vinegar.
And she had me to lay down so she could put them on her stomach. And just fill my hair full of that
Oh,
stuff.
my goodness.
Vinegar or Epsom salt, you
You
cure
know, I think
anything.
she had to dig the stinger out of a couple of places.
How old were you then?
Oh,
What was your age?
How
I don't know, I've probably been 7 or 8.
Oh, my. It is bad.
Just, you know, just playing.
Well, Ludie,
You must have been older than that.
Well,
sure you have a story
I
to
remember
tell.
Daddy laying on the front porch, counting the stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, when we misbehaved, a whole lot of times he'd get after us, and if we didn't do right away, he'd start counting. And one night he was laying there counting the stars, and I thought I'd done something wrong.
He got to 9.
Yeah, if he got to 10, it was too bad for you.
She was saying, "What'd I do, Dad? What'd I do?" He had some unusual ways to punish you.
Yeah.
I told you about one in my book, what he did to me. I'll never forget that.
What did he do? We haven't read the book. Can you tell us?
I was a teenager. Well,
Remember when we,
Daddy,
we
just
still,
a second, go ahead, Aunt, go ahead.
go ahead.
we still lived at Mount Pleasant in this little community. And of course, the big thing was that everybody went to parents, you know, in the community went to their house on Saturday night. And they would, they called it make music. Everybody that could play an instrument would bring it and they'd play. And I don't remember a lot of dancing or anything like that, but they just played. And the kids would play games outside, you know. Piggy wants a signal Snap, and the older ones was, but I was about, I
Spin the
don't
bottle.
know, 10 or 12 years old. And Dad always kept his fiddle under the bed, in its case, you know, he'd slide it under the bed. I don't remember what I did that teed him off, but he made me crawl under the bed. Told me to get under the bed. And that was before anybody came. Everybody was coming to our house.
Oh, my goodness.
And I crawled under there with all the dust bunnies and everything. People began to come in, and I'd move around under there and make a little noise. They didn't pay me any attention. More people would come in, and I'd hear them laughing and talking, you know, and getting out their instruments and whatever. And he didn't say a word to me. I was still under the bed. And I guess he waited till everybody got there. I don't know. I was just so put out. I don't know. It seemed like the house was full. And they were all lined up to do their playing, you know. And he said, Naomi, you can come out from under the bed now.
Oh, no. That's awful.
It
And
is,
here I
thank
had to come out, the beds were low, and I had to pull myself on my elbows to get out, you know, and move boxes and instrument, you know, cases and whatever to get out. And here I came, great big old kid that crawled out from under the bed with everybody there. And do you know, he never said another word to me. He never said another word to me, and he never mentioned that incident as long as I lived at home. He never said anything about it. I thought maybe he'd apologized to me that he'd forgotten me or something. He didn't. He didn't say a word.
There's something about being punished, about being put under the bed. Because I've heard other
I
people tell
just
at
wish
your
I could
age
remember what I did.
how they were
Told to get
made to
under
get
the
up
bed.
under the bed.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And that's a horrible place to be because it's almost like there's no air. There's you know, you get up under the bed and there's the wall and
That's true.
Get him.
I remember one time.
That cured me.
but the worst part of it was you didn't get an apology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did anything to aggravate my dad, never.
Oh,
And I don't know what I did. Maybe I just failed to do something he told me to do, or I just can't
I think
remember
Ralph has
right
been
now
under the
what it
bed.
was.
Okay, Daddy.
well, I was thinking about one day when Neil and his family came down to visit us, you know. I don't remember having anything about what I did to get under the bed, you know. And
It wasn't
Bruce,
you,
you know, stood up high and he said, I'm not going under the bed.
That was probably the wrong thing to
That
say.
was the wrong thing to say.
I didn't know he used that on you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Ralph said it wasn't a new thing.
Oh, what's it? And
Well, you know, he never made us stand in the corner. I don't remember any of us ever standing in the corner.
I
No,
never went under the bed.
You could run fast, couldn't you?
oh,
But them little switches sure did hurt.
Yeah, oh, man.
I'll tell you about two incidents in Izora.
He whipped you one time, didn't he, Ralph?
One of them, when we were up there and we were, had just moving in the house, the one closest to that little round mountain. And, there was a rattlesnake in the fireplace, in the hearth of the fireplace. So Dad went in, got a tub of hot water, a tub of water, pushed it, built up the fire in the fireplace, and he got that water boiling and just dumped it in the bottom of the fireplace. And, you know, I should remember this, we had the worst smell in the house for about a month that we could have.
I remember a lot about that place there. It was at the foot of the mountains, up in the hill country. And T.W. remembers this too. Me and him and Dad went up there to look that place over one time, before we moved.
Yeah,
In an old Model T car.
yeah.
And we was driving around a couple of birds about that high where we was gonna farm. I mean, acres of them. Just
There was